Hello, I am roaringbug and welcome to my Sims 4 speed build. If you like my video, please like, subscribe, or leave me a comment. That would be greatly appreciated. And if you want this house, you can get it off the gallery at roaringbug, all one word, and it's completely base game, so anyone can download it. And currently the Sims is free, the base game is free. So this build is called Family Craftsman, and as I said, it's a completely base game only house. I've been making a lot of very traditional looking houses in The Sims, and I think I've got the formula down making them, and a lot of Simmers seem to like traditional homes. It's not actually a style that I'm that fond of. I'm more a Victorian build fan, but you know, a lot of people seem to really like traditional homes, and you know, I guess they're very spacious, and you know, it's like a basic kind of shape. It's not really my cup of tea, but you know, I've really found my groove making them. You know, I think they look pretty neat. It's nice to have like a really nice large home, especially like if you're doing like a legacy family gameplay. I like doing legacy gameplay. I don't know how other people play, but that's normally what I do. When I first started playing The Sims, I just had like a normal sim and I just gave them a job, and I ended up having like a multi-generation house with like grandparents and stuff, and you know, then afterwards I started getting into more chaotic gameplay with like occult sims, and you know, I really like occult sims. I'm not really into like that much family gameplay. I know like some people like doing vacuum cleaning in The Sims, and they like, I don't know, doing laundry in The Sims, but you know, I don't want to do virtual chores. I prefer doing crazy stuff that would never happen in real life in my Sims gameplay. And you know, I think I should talk a little bit more about what I'm doing here. So I used a platform in order to create this planter, and I wanted the left side to be shorter, but the game did not like it. It wouldn't let me make a shorter rounded curve planter, and I'm painting all the walls by holding the shift key down, and if you want to paint just one side of one wall, you can do that by holding the alt key. But like I said, this is just all base game only, so there's not really too much I can do with different designs. Base game is actually really good to lending itself to a more traditional build style. You can do like other styles too. I've done a lot of Victorian houses with just the base game, and it's a look that you can achieve, but like other packs that are really good for like Victorian design is Strangerville and the Vampire pack. They're like excellent when you want to try and do like a Victorian look, just because it has like the little details that you would see in that kind of style. But like curvy looking designs and stuff is really hard to do in The Sims. Like a style I would love to do is more an Art Nouveau style. They kind of touched on it when they had Realm of Magic, but that organic curvy look is something that I think would be really interesting to try and achieve in The Sims, but it's really hard to do with base game. My white whale of a build that I might try in the future if I feel up to it is trying to recreate the Guggenheim, which is a modern art museum in New York. But that's all curvy. Like if you've never seen that museum, the thing is, it's very curvy and it has a spiral ramp on the interior, and it's something you should really like look at. I mean, if you don't know that museum, I would look it up. But what I'm doing right now is I'm using debug items in order to do all of these plants in The Sims, so I can do this landscaping. This landscaping is something I tried to make look a little bit more natural by adding not just one bush, but like 2 bushes. Actually, like even 3 bushes. I'm just like adding like tufts of grass and bushes and leaves and a different kind of like bush and a wider bush, and then like these hedges. I'm just kind of tucking them in everywhere just so that it doesn't look too perfect, because when things look too pristine, they end up looking more fake. So I'm trying to make that natural look in The Sims. And this is a debug pillar. It's my new favorite pillar that I've been using in the game. I've just been using like this fake debug pillar everywhere. The only thing I don't like about it is that you have to pull it out one at a time, and I have to finagle by alt placing every single one because it has a tendency to clip inside the house. And this is like I said, all the landscaping is just debug, so it's a debug bush, and in order to make it look not so the same, I rotated all of them so you get like different angles of the same bush. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but curve walls are kind of weird because they have a glitch where it doesn't color in the terrain on the edges, but I got around it by using terrain paint in order to find like a wall terrain, like a floor terrain paint that sort of matches the color of the tile work in order to make it less obvious. And you know, I kind of went all out with this backyard. I gave it a barbecue, a swimming pool, and a greenhouse. And these are all like functional gameplay items that you can use in base game. So gardening is really lucrative in The Sims. Swimming is like a gym, fitness skill. Barbecuing ups your cooking skill. So it's all good. And I wanted to do like a brown deck, so that's what I'm trying to do here. And a little bit of terrain paint just so that it looks a little more realistic. I don't really go too heavy with terrain paint. I just do a little light dust and the dirt everywhere, so it looks natural. But I was a little too heavy there, so I kind of erased a little bit of it. So I wanted to raise this house a little bit, and when you raise the foundation of a house, it will also affect all of the landscaping. So I tried to do all the landscaping first before I raise the house. And you keep seeing me save the game. First, you should save the game in case it crashes. The second thing about it is that it helps you see the house from a front angle, because in build mode you're kind of seeing the house from, I don't know, from above down below, so it's hard to see if everything is symmetrical, but it helps to look at it when it appears in save. And I kind of had a hard time doing this interior floor plan in this house because I couldn't figure out where to put everything. And you know, you'll see it that like I go back and forth with the walls. Oh, and if you want to delete walls, just hold Control and trace over the wall that you don't want, and you can erase it that way. And it's a lot faster than using the hammer tool. So I actually like cut out a lot of the spinning around that I do trying to figure out this floor plan. There was actually more, and since this is a speed build and I'm speeding up what I'm doing, and I'm just basically like cutting out all the times that I'm doing searching in the build and buy catalog. But I don't know, I had a hard time with this floor plan, and I'm not really sure why. And the thing is, like, I couldn't figure out where to put the bathroom. I wanted to put the bathroom like close to the front door, just because it's more convenient for gameplay. Also, that's probably going to be the bathroom your Sims are going to use the most anyway, because they're going to spend more time on the first floor to do skill building, and they're just going to just speed up when they sleep anyway, when they go upstairs. So there really isn't too much gameplay on the second floor, except for like child Sims, because I always put like skill building items in the child bedrooms. So like when you build, sometimes you don't want to see the grid. So another building tip is if you click on the G key, you can get rid of the grid, so you don't have to see it. But sometimes you need the grid in order to figure out spacing, because I kept it in so that I can figure out the spacing for the doors and the lights. And I am coloring all of the flooring by holding the shift key, and that allows you to add wallpaper and flooring to an entire room. So, you know, if you're new to building, it saves you time instead of just going over with your mouse the entire space. And I left in how I decorated these bathrooms, because with base game I basically just make the same bathroom all the time. So, you know, I really like that they added those slots for the soap and the toothbrush, because that wasn't always there, and it's really nice to do that, because if you wanted to add it before and it didn't have a slot, you'd had to use the 9 key, fiddle with it, and try and see if it was placed correctly without it floating. But since it has a slot, it's so much easier to decorate. So now I'm just doing this kitchen, and since it's such a large space, I turned it into a dining room / kitchen. And I was even able to put in this bar and this island in the kitchen. And I don't normally add all of that in a build, but I had enough space for it, which is awesome, because I don't normally give myself enough space to do that. So I just made it, like I said, a very basic looking house with just, I'm just thinking like all the essentials you need for gameplay. And yeah, it's true, I use the cheapest items in the game. Like, that's the cheapest fridge and the cheapest oven that you can use in the game. But, you know, if you download this house, you can swap it out for like the most expensive fridge if you want, or any kind of pack that you want. You know, when you download this house, you can do whatever the heck you want with it. I don't normally play with these base game houses that I build. I would only use it if my sim has like a boyfriend or a girlfriend and I want them to have a nicer house. Or with story progression, sometimes like you'll see a house that has 8 sims, which is like the max, but they only live in like a 1-bedroom house. And you know, I always feel kind of bad for them. So I usually just go into the gallery, do like build cheats on so that, you know, I don't have to worry about money or anything like that. And I just plop down one of these base game houses that I make. And you know, it's nice because in my own gameplay, it's nice to like have my sim visit, because sometimes I even forget what I put in these houses. I mean, like, they basically have the same things, but like sometimes I forget like the configuration of them, and I'm like, oh my god, look at the thing I did that I totally forgot that I did. So that's always nice. So I always try to put a little bit of decoration in my homes. I don't do a lot of decoration just because I don't really like clutter too much. I mean, I do use clutter if it looks good, but usually like if it's custom content, because custom content can make really beautiful objects, and you know, and I'm a sucker for like mid-century furniture, so it's always nice to get like something that looks really, really cool. You know, vicariously live through your Sims. Give them all the nice stuff that you wish you could have if money were no object. So sometimes I try to do that. But you know, I think I'm heading towards the end of my video, and also my phase with mid-century craftsman and traditional houses. I think I'm going to try and go back to doing different styles, but you know, I had a good run and I really enjoyed making these houses because it's not something like I normally would try and do. And you know, I'm getting towards the end of my video, and you'll see the full decor in my screenshots at the end. So thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.